From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Thursday, February 5th. Before we get into our top 6 stories from this morning, let's get you the question of the day. Question is, chances are you have around 40 of these in your house. What are they? Answer was light bulbs. I didn't get this one right, but Megan Conway and Brandon Rector did. And if you want to participate in our question of the day every morning, be sure to head over to our 1011 Facebook page, put in your guess in the comments, and we'll share some of those guesses and the answer during 1011 this morning on air in the mornings. Now, that being said, let's jump into our headlines. Our first one being breaking from just this morning. Now, the York County Sheriff's Office is investigating this right here on your screen, a break-in at Cornerstone Bank in Bradshaw, and they're asking for the public's help. According to a Facebook post from the Sheriff's Office, officers were dispatched around 2:30 a.m. to a burglary alarm at the bank. York County is asking residents and businesses nearby to review any of their own security or doorbell camera footage and report any suspicious activity they may see. Now, for our viewers that might just be listening into this, what we have on screen is the door ajar to the bank on the side right there, as well as lots of broken glass just around the scene. So definitely a very serious looking photo, and be sure if you do have any information to contact their office at 402-362-4927. Be sure to stick with us on the 1011 Now app as we work to learn more about this incident. Your second story, and happening today in the legislature, it's the next step in an accusation of favoritism against the governor as lawmakers take a closer look at how state contracts are awarded. Legislative Committee will hear testimony today on LB 997, a bill prompted by a state audit flagging possible favoritism tied to a $2.5 million no-bid contract connected to Governor Pillen. State Auditor Mike Foley is expected to testify. Foley's audit alleged the contract did not clearly meet the legal definition of an emergency and raised concerns about oversight. LB 997 would require faster reporting of no-bid and emergency contracts to the auditor's office to increase transparency. Now, also happening today as well, Lincoln's mayor is unveiling a proposal focused on expanding affordable housing options in the capital city. Mayor is holding a press conference on this today at 10 a.m. and there she'll announce proposed changes to the city rules on accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. Now, if you don't know, ADUs are small, separate living spaces built on the same property as a main home, like, say, a backyard cottage or basement unit. I will be at this news conference later this morning, and we'll let you know what exactly the mayor's plans are on the 1011 Now News app. Now, your fourth story in health news. Nebraska's Department of Health and Human Services reported its first pediatric flu-related death of the season yesterday. As of January 30th, there have been 22 flu-related deaths in the state this season. The CDC says nationally there have been 52 additional pediatric flu-related deaths this season. Now, it's going to sound very on the nose and basic, but here's just some very useful tips to avoid the flu from them, including avoiding close contact with others who are sick, staying home when you're sick. I know a lot of people like to try and power through that at work, but staying home when you're sick, very key. Covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze, washing your hands often, cleaning surfaces often, and talking to your care provider about an annual flu vaccine or other recommendations. DHHS says children and adults 65 and older are at a greater risk for severe complications. Now to your fifth story, one that we've been following throughout the week. The number of cats removed from a Northeast Lincoln home is now even higher. Lincoln Animal Control and the Capital Humane Society rescued 92 cats from what they're calling a hoarding case. According to the Humane Society, 2 dead cats were also unfortunately found. Shelter says nearly half the cats have some sort of respiratory infection or fleas. Luckily, they're all expected to make a full recovery. About half a dozen cats will likely be available for adoption within the next few days.
Right now, obviously, with this number of cats that have come in a short amount of time, we need to make some space in the shelter. So all of the cats and kittens that are already up for adoption that are not part of this hoarding case, we need to find homes for them so that we can free up some space at our adoption center.
That was the ever amazing and ever kind Matt Madchero, who comes on 10:11 this morning during Mondays with a cat, as well as 10:11 this afternoon on Thursdays with the dog. Again, Capital Humane Society is over capacity at this point with this intake, which is why they're running an adoption special this week. Adoption fees will be half off until this Sunday to help get more pets out the door. Wrapping things up with your final and sixth story, upgrades are coming to Lincoln's Casino. Warhorse is getting ready to put the finishing touches on its facility. Casino officials say the southeast parking lot will close next Monday as crews begin phase 3 of the project that will continue through next summer. The updates will bring more parking and shuttle services to the facility, along with plans to add a sports bar, chop house, and a larger gaming floor. The president of Warhorse's parent company says these improvements are all about enhancing the experience for guests, so be sure to look out for that, as well as those parking construction additions that's going to affect where there currently already is parking. So just be sure to look out for that while these new upgrades are coming in. That's going to be your morning pulse, though, for this Thursday morning. And before we toss things over to Brandon Rector, we'll give you a look at your 7-day forecast, certainly in for a roller coaster, especially with these awesome highs coming in this week.
Good Thursday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. We started off this morning with quite a bit of cloud cover, but by late morning and into the afternoon, it should be mostly sunny to sunny. Breezy with winds out of the west and northwest, 10 to 20 with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. It is also going to be seasonably mild today, remaining mostly clear as we go through much of tonight. Our temperatures at noon in the upper 40s to low 60s. At 4, it's mid-50s to near 70 across the state, well above average for this time of the year. And at 8 this evening, we still have our temperatures in the mid-40s to low 50s for much of the area. In Lincoln for today, it looks like we warm up into the low 60s this afternoon, well above the average high of 38 for today's date.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.